I'm loving this.
This is amazing.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I think we owe Jesse more money than what we already gave him.
High five.
Yeah.
One really nice high five.
Yeah. For our first episode with our new equipment, this will be fun. Hopefully it works, because otherwise we'll have to have this person come back again.
Ugh, I hope not. I've never had anyone flirt with me so much. It's like, geez, hang it up. Okay, Nancy, I'm married.
So before we get going, let's do a shout out. Who you brought us goodies today?
I don't know if you've had this. Okay, yeah, I did. Had a date with my husband.
You're married?
I don't know if our guest heard that, but yeah, my husband, I'm happily married. Okay, he's a looker. We went to St.
Wait. He's coming in today, so I'll have to take a photo with him.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinds of twinsies, actually.
You know, it's kind of funny because our guest was like, wait, you're divorced? And I was like, well, this is actually my upside down pineapple boyfriend.
Everybody's had a trial marriage, okay? Don't judge. Yeah. Been there, done that. Anyways. Okay, yeah. So we used to have dates every other Friday because he was off on Fridays.
You and your husband?
Yeah. And we'd go to the gym. Didn't quite make it this morning. He made it.
I love it when you guys go to the gym.
Oh, I know you do.
I know
Setting
you
up
do.
the vids.
Especially when he had his long hair.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me. Anyways, yeah, so he made it to the gym. I made it to St. Arts. Weird. And we had a coffee date. And we sat across from each other, made eye contact, and talked.
I figured you two would be the ones that sit on the same side of the table.
No. No.
No?
But thank you for thinking that.
And hold hands and things?
Well, yeah, we hold hands and stuff. Obviously. So, anyways, back to
So you were at St. Arts?
Yes, I got you the gluten-free muffin because of your bowel issues, and a sugar-free doped-up latte that's coming from
Jake.
Yep. And I got the fruit parfait or whatever, their yogurt parfait.
Looks delicious.
It's wicked.
Is that the
amazing.
gluten-free granola that they make?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
So you can have a bite. You'll be fine.
Okay. Speaking of St. Arts.
Yes. Oh, sweet mother of pearl. We're almost sold out.
I know. That is so crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Our guest right now is like, what do we see?
Well, it's not all about him.
It isn't.
I mean,
they probably won't even be here. But anyways,
No.
yeah, thanks to all the 58 people that's yours. Thanks to all the 58 people that have purchased tickets.
Yeah, we
Huge.
love you.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's
We
so
just
big.
sold 3 today when I was there.
What?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now are we to 62? 61? I can.
If they don't have a baseball game, I have somebody that I want this person to meet. So maybe we could blind date them.
Well, he'll be mesmerized by us, so it's probably not the best time to have a first date. You know what I mean?
Good point.
She'll be like, you didn't even acknowledge me the whole time.
Yeah, you were just looking at those 2 old women up there.
Whoa,
You
old.
can there's,
Grip
okay,
it.
easy. You got to
can tighten
tighten
this.
and, yeah, there you go.
He's already tired of us.
This is great.
For shit's sakes.
Okay.
Oh,
here he
now
comes.
don't stop. Gall. This
Yeah,
guy, he's
got it.
always trying to get close.
It's getting down. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Is that better?
Sure.
Okay, don't let it fall off. Okay, push it on there. Okay.
Sorry, Jake.
Thanks, Rhett.
Okay, you guys don't know. Our new equipment is
It's fancy.
It's super fancy.
Yeah, and if that drops, that's I'm just thinking how much money that microphone costs. It's
well, you would have
floating
thought
in the
who was
air.
ever setting it up? Not me.
Hey,
Would
I
have
worked
had
really
this
hard at
baby.
this. I don't get extra payment for all of this
I feel
extra
like
work
you
that
just
I
did
do.
this on purpose. Know what I mean?
How's it go? Good job, Rhett. Okay, anyways, so our Valentine's Day gig, I don't have any problems with mine over here.
It's not attached very well. I'm just gonna say. I might just have to hold this bad boy.
Okay,
Or
there you
you
go.
might.
Anyways, Valentine's Day
Yeah.
at St. Arts. Lord have mercy.
This mic. You know what? Sometimes there are technical difficulties. Does it clamp? Can it open up more? Get ready.
Okay, we're back. Technical difficulties.
New equipment.
Anyways, okay, so yeah, St. Arts.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jake. Hi. Is that for me?
How's it going?
Oh my God. I love you.
Get a quick picture of them
Yeah.
real fast. I think
Hold
they
on.
are twinsies.
They really are. Can you
Yeah.
guys kind of stand next to each other?
This is the older version over here. Yep.
Okay, ready? Rhett's what do you get into? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, you guys do. That could be your father. He's probably I'm going to need to take this flannel
He
off.
probably took his pre-workout. You know what I mean?
See, Jake?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, anyways. So, yeah, only 15 tickets left at our Valentine's Day gig at St. Arts. So,
Yep.
if you guys haven't done that, hustle and get those. Let's just take 2 tickets off for our guest and the person that we're going to bring for his date.
Oh yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
nice. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
I don't know if I've told you about her yet, but I have somebody I want you to meet.
Yeah.
Is it the one that you mentioned over the holiday break?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Not me.
All right.
Sorry,
So,
don't
anyways,
start crying now. It's not me. Anyway.
back to let's introduce our guest here, Lena. Do you know his name?
Yeah, Rhett.
Rhett Miller.
Oh, Rhett Miller. That's nice.
Yeah. Welcome, Rhett.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on.
Just a little heads up. Rhett has never listened to our podcast, so he has no idea what he's getting into.
Then why is he here?
I don't, here we are.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are.
I got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, he's busy, like with
yeah.
baseball and things. Okay, Rhett. So you're the assistant baseball coach here at McCook Community College. How did you get to McCook? Wait, it was probably from Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. It's Twitter. I'm telling you, it's like a completely different game changer.
Are you going to be nice to him and we're not going to do a warm up?
Oh no, we're doing a warm up, but we're
We're
just
gonna do a little intro
Yeah,
and
I
then-
got.
okay,
I have
alright.
all the questions.
Okay,
right here.
really Twitter?
Yeah. So like Olson was like, "Hey guys, I need an assistant baseball coach," and here came Rhett.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
it's
pretty much
actually-
how it happened?
Yeah, so it's actually funny because, just kind of, I've never been out like this far west before. Other than like I got recruited by Oklahoma. Me and my dad drove out there. I mean, I didn't end up going to Oklahoma, but like as far as like, I guess Northwest or something like that, this is kind of like I've never been out here before. And then just kind of like where I was currently, at in my life at the moment, I just prayed that, I prayed for a change and stuff like that. I just wanted to kind of I wanted to go somewhere that I've never been before. Just kind of be, learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable somewhere. And so like, sure enough, it's 2 to 3 months later, I saw the Twitter thing for a job hiring out here, and then contacted Olson, and, we had a couple of interviews and stuff, came out here and had a visit. We really liked each other and everything, and then everything was good from there.
Okay, and if you haven't been able to tell, he's the furthest west he's ever been.
Yeah, he's not from around here.
He is from South Carolina.
Oh, hello.
We're gonna all start speaking like we have our own accents by the end of
Well,
this.
this may be our most listened to, if we can tell by female listeners going forward. Okay, wait, you said you both kind of liked each other. Were you referencing Olson? Because I don't know. So you like him?
I like Olson. Yeah,
Oh.
I think he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's
Yeah.
good. No,
Good guy.
he is. He's
Good guy. Seems like he's a good father figure and stuff like that. So
Oh
does
my
make some
gosh.
cute babies.
He does make some cute little redheads.
And they are sweet. I have one, like that one that's over at school is sweet.
Oh, Avery.
Yeah, Avery.
It's the first one. That first one tricked them
Well,
into having 2 more.
my first one didn't trick me. But anyways.
Yeah, your first one was sweet.
So, okay, I want to get back to this.
it was
So-
actually crazy because talking about that in the fall, like me and Olson actually had like a deep conversation about like his past and like kind of like all that kind of stuff. So like, I kind of feel
Oh,
like,
so you guys are like, you chat.
I mean, we talk,
Yeah.
which I think is like very important,
It is.
especially for like coaches. I mean, the more that you kind of like know each other and kind of feel comfortable and stuff like that, obviously the better that you're going to gel and stuff like that. So I thought that for us to kind of have that conversation, especially with me only being here for 3 to 4 months, like I thought that was kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Then you get to learn the
Wow.
people that you're working for.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get deep, we do a little warm up. Okay, so we're gonna do.
She says we,
Lord have
but what
mercy.
she
Lord have
meant
mercy.
is-
I'm gonna ask you 100 questions.
Yes.
Okay, and you're just gonna like spit these off.
I played 20 questions before, but I don't know about 100 questions.
Well, we'll go until I don't like the questions anymore. How's that sound?
And I'm glad,
good.
obviously, your computer can only see there, so it is just.
So
gonna
it
be
is
you.
literally just
Yeah,
gonna be
okay.
me.
Well, if you have any questions, you can chat, man.
Yeah, if you have like some wild question.
Okay.
Okay, here we
with
go.
yours.
If you had to get a tattoo today, what would you get?
Besides my name.
I would definitely get. I mean, probably. Honestly, the only way that I'd probably ever get a tattoo would have to be sentimental. But if I was
This guy.
if I was gonna get something, I mean, it'd probably like a cross on the chest or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe on like the left or right pectoral.
Oh, okay.
Now we're throwing out.
I mean, I can kind of imagine it.
I've thought about like I've tried to picture myself as like like a sleeve or something or like a half sleeve or something.
yeah.
like
Me too.
that.
Yeah, I could see.
I'm picturing that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're like a no tattoo kind of guy.
I just don't really like needles that much, and so like it's just.
Oh, that's what you and Olson have in common.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like if I go in for like
Yeah.
like have to get an IV or something like that, just make sure I'm not looking because like if I see it, I'll probably pass out.
That's Olson too. Yesterday I was like, "Hey Olson, you should go donate blood," and he's like,
Oh, go, Nancy.
He is. Men are weak. Okay.
You also can't donate blood if you have PEDs in your system either. So
What?
PEDs.
you know what PEDs is?
No.
Pets.
Steroids.
Do you have steroids?
No, I'm just joking.
It's like, okay.
It was an ongoing joke
Okay.
yesterday. Maybe it's
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We weren't involved in it.
Who knows the most secrets about you?
That's pretty good. I don't really tell a lot of people stuff, but I don't know. I'd say my dad.
Your dad? Okay. What is your nickname?
Growing up, I had Sunshine was my nickname because I had like long hair. I had long like blonde hair, and when I played football, and so Sunshine, like I often remember the Titans. That was one, and then Wrist Rocket was one because like I just threw the ball hard, and so like that was one of my nicknames growing up.
Not what I was thinking, so I'm glad he clarified. Got
Yeah.
it. Yep.
I mean, her mind is just,
This woman,
her mind is just wandering over here.
She is.
No, I mean, come on. Let's be. I don't come from a baseball background, so
Right.
like
Yeah.
the
You
lingo
just don't
is.
know.
No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Okay.
All she knows is we just go out there and play, and then smack each other on the butt and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's
So,
literally all that happens. Okay. What happens after death?
what happens after death. You can go to heaven.
Good.
Oh, go. He's so amazing.
What event?
What does everybody?
Oh, good question.
Depends if you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior or not.
Okay.
How do you make the world a better place?
I think stuff like that is just about how you treat others. So you go out and just however you approach, basically just however you approach the day. Really, like if you approach the day with a positive attitude and stuff like that, a lot of times it wears off on others. And then a lot of times if you have a lot of negativity, like if you know somebody that has a lot of negativity, right? People don't really have a lot to do with them.
That's exact.
And so I think it's just about, expressing a lot of positivity and stuff like that. Because obviously there's going to be bad things that happen and stuff like that. But, you just got to keep a positive mindset and, eventually good stuff will start happening. But you also have to be able to stay
This guy is.
settle-minded when something negative happens.
What is one item on your bucket list?
I'd say go to another country.
Okay. 2 more questions. What brings you the most joy?
Asking me that now, especially from a coaching standpoint, is seeing the success of a player. One of my biggest things, and it's something I've always dreamed of, is when I had the opportunity to become a coach was, obviously probably 5 to 10 years down the line. I hope that these guys can, call me, text me or something like that and say, hey, and they might be a father at the time or they might be working somewhere or something like that. They were saying, hey, just calling in, checking, I just want to let you know that, you really helped me in this aspect of life and stuff like that. And so I think coaching, it's more than just a sport. A lot of these kids look at you for, they look up to you as far as responsibilities and just, it's stuff after sports.
Right.
It's kind of what, it's what I look forward to.
Okay, last question. What is your favorite word to say out loud?
Favorite word to say out loud is,
It's pronounced Lena.
Letty's right now is actually, she says that word every single day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I say anything out loud.
Nothing?
I mean, maybe let's go or something like that because we're always in the weight room.
Right.
I'm just trying to push the guys and stuff like that. So
All right, last warm up. This is with baseball. Okay.
it could be. I say go Cox and stuff like that a lot too.
What?
South Carolina Gamecocks.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Lena's going to need a lot of clarification.
Yeah, it's, sorry. Okay, anyways, next.
Okay. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, Rhett.
Are you from Nebraska?
Born and raised.
Nice.
Right
I
here.
mean, I did venture out.
What part?
She lived in New York.
Yeah, I lived in New York. But I grew up in Culbertson, suburbs, about 15 minutes that way.
I got you. What part of New York?
Scarsdale, 15 minutes outside the city.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit different out here. A little less people.
A lot less people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people are people.
People
You
are
know,
people.
yeah.
Okay. Rhett, we're going to give you 30 seconds.
Oh boy.
Okay. There is 43 baseball players on the team.
Shut up. Are you kidding me?
No.
I'm a Cooks?
Yeah, the college baseball team. Yeah. Okay.
43.
Yeah. And I know all of their names, Rhett. So in 30 seconds, you have to at least name half of them.
First name or last name too?
Just first name.
Just first name.
Sweet
First name.
mother
On your
of
marks.
pearl.
Get set. Go.
I count.
Cade, Yella, Mikey, Owen, Josh, Michael.
You're at 6.
Biggie, CJ,
Throwing out Nick.
Chobby, Ty.
It's 10.
That's only 10. Jesus.
And time.
Okay. Well, we
That
know
was-
what we need to work on.
Wow.
was bad.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
There's no way those were first names. No one's names their kid Chubby.
Chobby.
It's his name.
Oh.
His first name's Miles.
Yeah.
I just call him Chops.
That.
Okay.
There's some. Yeah. Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
That's fine.
How many pitchers do you work with?
20.
And you named 10. You know, of those players that listen to this, they're
Yep.
gonna like
Which
eat you
they
up
all
over that.
do.
They are. Everybody listened to Olson's. Olson's was one of our biggest podcasts that we
Yeah.
had.
So step it up, Rhett.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Yep.
Okay. So Rhett, you came here. You are the assistant coach for the McCook Community College baseball team. Assistant pitching coach. That's like your thing. What did you pitch in college?
I did.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep.
Well, we probably need a little history too.
Yeah. So where are you from? Born and raised.
Yep. So I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in like the Greenville-Spartanburg area, which is like the upstate of South Carolina. My family now lives down in Charleston, so anytime that I go back home, I normally just go down to Charleston, which everybody kind of knows where Charleston's at. And then out of high school, so I graduated high school in 2012. And then I know I'm old.
What a young
I'm
kid.
old. So anyways, graduated in 2012. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. In high school, we went to 3 state championships in a row and got beat all 3 years.
In baseball.
Became runner-up in state championship every single year, from my sophomore to my senior year. So after I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just started taking classes, at just like a community college and stuff like that. And then it was like a year and a half after that, I decided that I wanted to still play, just because a lot of people told me, they were like, if you don't play now, don't look back and, regret anything, which is what I transitioned that a lot to the guys now. Like everything we do, just make sure you leave no doubt. Cause I promise you, once you're done playing, it's going to keep you up at night because there's still stuff to this day that keeps me.
And what's crazy, you can tell them that and they still don't get it.
Yeah.
Some of them do.
Right.
But others are they won't get it until it actually happens.
Right. And then, there's like you said, until you see it eye to eye, you just don't, until you experience it, I guess you really don't understand. But, you try to do the best as a coach and stuff like that. You just try to do the best as, trying to, transition that stuff down and kind of help them as much as you can to make sure they don't make the same mistakes that you did and stuff. But anyways, back to where I'm from. So got done, like I said, with high school. It's a year and a half. Wanted to play ball again. So I start making videos and stuff like that. And obviously this is when social media is kind of coming about. And but at the time, it wasn't.
Sorry, you said social media is coming about. Right, you graduated in 2012. Facebook was a thing then?
Well, I know, but it wasn't like Twitter and stuff wasn't recruiting as it is now.
Right, okay.
And so
Which you guys probably need to explain a little bit about that because people don't, the layperson.
The
listening,
Twitter?
Yeah, don't understand.
We'll
the
get into
recruit-
it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's
Okay.
young.
Right.
Yeah, and so then I started getting back into it, having pitching lessons and all that kind of stuff. And so I started sending out videos of all these schools, around Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and I had a bunch of schools reach back out to me because I was a left-handed pitcher, I was 88 to 90, touched 91, 92, And then I, like I said, sent out to a bunch of schools. A bunch of schools reached back out. One of the schools was North Greenville, which was a 45-minute hour drive from where I was at. And they're actually the number 1 D2 school. They win the World Series every single year just because they bring in a bunch of guys that go to Power 5 schools and don't they're not playing. So then they bring them in there. And so it's just kind of like a build up process for them. And so I go there, they wanted me to throw like a pin, threw a couple pitches. They really liked what they saw, especially from the left side. And so we went to go fill out paperwork and stuff. And then this comes back to like me not having good grades in high school. So that's another reason I harp hard on the guys about their grades and stuff like that. Cause like to this day it matters. Mm-hmm. And at the time I thought it was more of kind of like it was back in the 90s to where like, you're a good enough athlete, like someone will bypass it. And like, it's just not that way today. And like, you got to have the grades. And so, didn't have the grades to get in there. It was like 4 or 5 other schools that didn't have the grades. So I ended up having to go JUCO. Went JUCO up in Martinsville, Virginia. And so once I was there for like, I went there mid-semester, so I was there for a year and a half. And then after that, the JUCO was okay. And then it was fun. Like I would definitely, it was probably one of the, some of the best years of my life in JUCO. And so after that, I went to Guilford College in North Carolina. And then I played in a summer ball league after my junior year, then became a starter my senior year. Was literally one of the best seasons of my life. It was just something that I was bound and determined to do. And I think I threw like 70-something innings my senior year. And then after that, it was around, I think my senior year would have been around 2019, I believe. So I was like 25, I believe, 25, something like that. And so I had a shot at going to the minor leagues, had a few scouts looking at me and stuff. And then obviously COVID hit, and then everything shut down. And at that time I was 25, 26. And so I just kind of felt like it just wasn't in the cards and stuff like that. So I just kind of found a different direction.
And so what did you do after then? After college?
So I coached in the summer ball team that we won a championship with. I ended up going back there to coach. I think I coached there for like 2 seasons or something. And then that was during my last season coaching there was during like the COVID thing. And then I went off and I actually moved to, I went back home to Charleston, and then I moved to Myrtle Beach to where like I was managing this company. And like I was making good money there and stuff. And then I just got tired of it because like everything was just repetitive. And that's what I love about like baseball, because like each individual is always something different. And so like that's what I love about the coaching part of it. It's just the way like you approach it and everything. And so after that, I went back to Charleston and I started working at like a baseball facility, but I was driving like 45 minutes to an hour every single day to go to. And it was just kind of like, gosh, like there has to be something better than like, I loved it. Like I did it for like 3 to 4 months. And so then back home, there was a facility that called me about having like an opening about a baseball instructing job. And so I took that job and moved up there, and it was like, worked there for like, I think like 5 or 6 months, something like that. And like, that was fun, but it's not really like what I thought it was going to be, just because, it's not the, like it's easy to be an instructor when you have some talent to work with. But when little Johnny comes in there and his mom thinks he's Derek Jeter and the kid's hand-eye coordination is just not there, then it's,
yeah. Isn't it? That's when you're like, if you're really good at coaching.
Yeah.
Or you have no patience.
Yeah. Well, my patience was like, because like there would be like little 7 or 8 year olds that come in there, and like some of them was okay. And then some of the kids, like they could swing a bat and wouldn't stand up. They'd fall on the ground, and I'd be like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like the kid has no balance and like all this kind of stuff. And hand-eye coordination is really not something that you really teach. Like it's something that you can get a little bit better at, but it's either you got it or you don't.
Hand-eye coordination is something that I've realized like here in the last 2 to 3 years is not like it used to be. Mm-mm. Like people, like if somebody was to throw a ball at you, like they couldn't catch it with one hand.
Mm-hmm. That's a conversation we've had with several people who coach in the area, and they talk about the majority of our kids in the summer go to daycare. Mm-hmm. So they're not being raised at home with parents who are actively participating with them with anything sports related outside. And I know like the first time I had golf lessons, the guy was like, I dreaded.
Was this last year?
You know what? Don't worry about it. No, this was pre-kids. This was like
okay.
12 years ago.
Oh, wait, you've had actual golf lessons?
Yeah, when we were in Cedar Rapids. We were
Adorable.
traveling all
Okay.
over. I know, yep.
Continue.
Anyway. But because Jake called and set him up, the guy was like, I didn't even want to, like, honestly, he's like, I was dreading meeting you. Because I was like, any husband that sets up lessons for his wife, he's like, this was going to be terrible. He's like, but you don't realize how many people don't have hand-eye coordination.
Well, so
He's
like
so
baseball, way smaller,
Yeah.
one hand, catch. Volleyball, huge, hand, contact, not there. And like that's one of the biggest things with volleyball is like if you don't have like the power and you don't hit the ball correctly, I'm like, how can you guys not hit the freaking ball like with your hand? Like it is not that hard.
Right.
But like you can tell like if a player doesn't have good hand-eye coordination if they just like hit the ball against the floor because their hand doesn't go over the whole ball, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that is like key.
Right.
So as a coach, were you considered like a private instructor at that
Right.
time?
Yes, ma'am.
So when would you have the conversation with the parent and say, you know what, this isn't maybe in the cards for? I
Or
mean,
did
is
you
there
have
an
those
age?
conversations?
Is there a number of lessons? When do you have that conversation?
So I think that's the reason like a lot of parents and like a lot of people around the facility like had so much respect for me just because like I was real honest with it. And so like, I mean, I get it. Like, you know, a lot of times you go to like these baseball facilities and stuff like that. And obviously like, it's just about the money, just about like, hey, like so-and-so's coming in, like, you know, they're not a lick of good, but like, they're just going to keep coming in. And like, I just felt like I was always honest with the parents. I was like, look,
Right.
like, he's just not very good at this right now. You know, that could potentially change, probably not, but it could potentially change in a couple of years and stuff like that. I was just like, because half the time the kid would come in and like the kid don't want to be there, and like the parents not paying attention, like the parents, like they just like the satisfaction of their kid, like being in a sport.
Right.
And like, if you're not athletic, like baseball is just not one of them to be in. Like, it's just not like go play like offensive line or defensive line in football or something like that. If you know, if you just want to sit there and just kind of like run around and stuff like that, like baseball is just a really, really hard sport, you know, like, you know, when you look at like the inside part of the game and stuff like that, like it's a lot harder than what people kind of anticipate it being. Like people's like, oh, like it can't be that hard to go out there and play baseball. It's kind of like, all right, like get somebody up on the mound and then let them
Right.
throw and try to hit the ball or try to pitch the ball and, you know, locate and try to be consistent in the zone and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I was just honest with the parents. I mean, that's like, I think they appreciated that and stuff like that. And a lot of them would still come back, you know, just because they like, you know, I just try to make it fun as possible. If the kid wasn't that good and they wanted to continue to take lessons, like I just tried to make it as fun as possible, because if the kid's not interested in it, then he's miserable.
Sure.
So,
Have you noticed difference in being, you know, where you grew up, coming here, where we obviously have a winter, where we don't have a lot of outdoor sports happening right now? Do you notice, or have you had the opportunity to notice a level of where athletes are at because of where they grew up? Does that make sense?
yeah. So I think that like, I wouldn't say it's so much like not being able to get outside, because I think that there's so much like stuff leading up to college sports now, as far as like businesses that develop these athletes and stuff like that, to where like they're going in there and it's not so much going in there to like, hey, like we're just going to go in there and, you know, squat and like do all these regular stuff that people has been doing since the early 2000s. It's more of doing stuff that's like stationary now, and it's more of like explosive workouts, and it's working like your fast twitch muscles and all that kind of stuff, and like your reaction times and stuff like that. It's more of doing that kind of stuff and working on balance and stuff, which we do a lot of, like in the weight room and stuff like that, like stability workouts and, you know, working the smaller muscles and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, like that's what like triggers the body and stuff. And it's not like the big muscles are just kind of like maintaining muscles and stuff, but like the fast twitch muscles and stuff like that, I think that's what like facilities and stuff like that really, really work on now. And there's so much technology and stuff that, like, you know, like if you have a little bit of talent, it's hard not to be good with the technology and stuff that you have now.
Yeah.
So it was after you were doing privates is when you were on Twitter one evening, or did you do something else after that?
No, so I was working at that facility, and you know, like I said, like after about 6 months, it was just kind of like, you know, like I just wanted to be like, I loved working there, but I just wanted to. I've always been a guy that, like, you know, wanted to kind of be like a lead by example kind of guy, and like like at the time I just really needed a family, and so like, you know, I was like, I know that, you know, if I can get a coaching role or something like that, like it'll kind of give me an opportunity. And so like, you know, obviously I saw the, you know, opportunity out here. You know, like I said, I messaged Coach Olson, and we had about 3 or 4 phone conversations, and then I flew out here, and I'll never fly on the McCook plane again. But
oh my gosh. Oh, Betsy, is that what you call him? That flight is not bad.
What?
It is.
Okay, how many seats?
the key lime.
Yeah. It's like, what, 6 seats? It's the best flight.
Did they weigh you before you got on? That's the real question.
Yeah, when they're like,
I think I was like 20 maybe. So different.
I remember I flew on there when I was pregnant, and they're like, you're going to need to sit in the back. And I was like,
Yeah, they were.
hey, you want me to hold the tail down?
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that 190 pounds makes a difference in the
yeah,
plane.
it does.
I
on
think
that flight.
5 does, because it's like, I remember people are like, there's no way they weighed you. I was like, actually, yeah, they
They
did.
do, yeah.
I mean, that was 20 plus years ago. But
Makes
yeah,
you.
it
Oh,
happened.
they still do it, and you only get like
Do
one
they
bag.
really? No, they don't.
Did they weigh
They
you?
didn't weigh me. They were like,
They probably just looked at once over, and they're
Yeah,
like, pure muscle.
Yeah. He'll be able to help out if anything goes wrong.
they're like, hey man, if the wing breaks off this plane, just grab it, throw it back on for us.
It is not that bad of a flight.
It is awful.
I still remember when Rhett came out though, and you were like standing out here with Olson, and I was like, Olson, like you walked away or something, and I was like, "Where's that kid from?" I thought you were a player.
Yeah, I think you were one of the first people I met when I came out here, other
Yeah.
than Olsen, because
See,
we're standing out here.
Yeah, it's usually when people meet me and they're like, "Yeah, we're coming here because that person's so cool. I want to work with her."
That was it.
It wasn't Olson, it was me.
Sure.
That was the final decision.
That was it. They're like, you know what, that volleyball coach, she seems
see
like
that.
a cool egg.
Yep. She's going to help me get places.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
I saw the championship banners from the volleyball team. And
Yes.
I was like,
There
I was
you
like,
yeah,
go.
I was like, she must know what she's doing out here.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, what were your reservations of coming out here?
So I think I flew out here on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and like I didn't really let anybody know of it at the time, just because, you know, I don't like to say, you know, hey, I'm going so and so, you know. I don't really express too much detail and stuff like that about my life too much. I just kind of like, if something comes up and I get something, like, sure, like, you know, some people might find out and stuff, but after I worked that day, I think I had like 10 or 12 lessons that day. Mm-hmm. And so I got off work, and I booked the flight like a couple of days ahead of time. And so my dad drove me to Charlotte, which is like an hour and a half north from where I was at. And so he drove me there after work, and my flight took off at like, I want to say like 10 o'clock. And so, and like, this was only like probably the 3rd or 4th time I've ever flown before. Like, I've flown when I was younger and stuff like that.
And then you got put on that small flight.
Yeah. And so like, I wasn't a fan of flying and stuff like that, but like, I think, you know, flying and stuff like that also comes down to like, it's like a little bit of like mental toughness with it. And so like, you know, you just kind of get like, I was just on the flight, and it was just kind of like, so
Sorry, he was probably giving himself like, this is fine. This is fine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've taken like 9 Benadryl, and I'm ready just
Oh
to,
my gosh.
Well, see, my thing is I don't like heights. Yeah, I don't like heights, and so you know, once I got to Denver and everything, I got to my hotel, and then I got to my hotel. It was like 1 o'clock, and I haven't eaten since I think I picked up Chick-fil-A or something like that after work, and so I got to my hotel like 1:30. And the shuttle guy, he told me, he was like, make sure you put your name on the list in the morning so you can get back on here so we know when to pick you up. And so my flight to McCook didn't take off until, I think it was like 9 or 10 in the morning or something. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, so I went in there and I checked in, and I told the guy, he told me to put my name on a list. And so I put my name on the list, and he was like, the only time that we have available is like 6:30 in the morning. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit around at the airport for like 2 hours. And so, so I get up to my room, and I start looking on DoorDash. I'm like, I got to find something to eat. And like, even Wendy's was like an hour to get there. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, if Wendy's is that long, like nothing's going to deliver. I was like, and it's already 1:30 in the morning. I got to be back up at like 5 o'clock. I might get like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. And so, And so I just go down to the vending machine. I think I got like a Pop-Tart or something like that. And that was my dinner. And so I went to bed, woke back up at 5 o'clock to try to get all my, shower, get up, get ready and all that kind of stuff. And then breakfast opened up at 6 o'clock. And so I got down there, ate breakfast, went back up, got all my stuff, and then got on the shuttle at 6:30. And then and what's crazy is like, as much as I say that, like, I don't like flying and stuff, like, this was the kind of like the sketchy part is like, so I'm walking to the Denver International, and one of the guys standing there that helps people, tell them where to go and all that kind of stuff. And so I asked him, and I was like, hey, man, I was like, my next flight's supposed to leave at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And he was like, what flight is it? And I was like, I don't know. It's called Key Lime. And he was like, he looked at me, he goes, I ain't never heard of that one before. I was like, they're going to carry me somewhere and kill me. I was like, this is it. And so so they ended up finding out where it was, and it was all the way down at the end.
And you have to go like down the stairs. That's when you know it's like.
When you're going outside to get on the plane, you know it's sketch.
Yeah. And so I was the only one in the waiting room. And so, like, I'm sitting there, and, like, I think the flight, it was backed up like 30 minutes or something like that. And so they were like, they said, Mr. Miller, your flight's ready. And I was like, okay. And so the flight attendant or whoever it was, the lady that working at the airport, like, she walked me, like, I'm walking, like, in the runway, like, out there with my suitcase or my duffel bag or whatever. Yeah. And I walk out there to the plane and get on, and I'm the only one on the flight. And so, like, I was kind of like, I was like, is this like a private jet or like?
I was just going to say, are you thinking this school's legit?
Yeah, this is big time. They have their own flight.
Yeah. Well, the flight out here wasn't bad. Yeah. Like, it really wasn't bad. It was like this time of the day, like, everything, right. The air was clear and stuff like that. So I got out here, and, like, it was actually pretty because, like, I've never flown above, like, these states before, like Colorado and Nebraska and stuff. But, like, literally all you see is, like, cornfields. You see, like, circles and squares and stuff like that. And it's actually really cool. And so I got out here, coach picked me up, like, we hung out for probably like 6 or 7 hours, went and got a bite to eat and all that kind of stuff. It was like 4 o'clock, I had to fly back to Denver, to fly back to Denver. And so, like, we go to take off, and come to find out, those planes only fly at 25,000 feet. And so you can't get above the storms there. And those the afternoon thunderstorms, they're like out and about. And so we're flying through the storms, and I'm talking about, like, we're getting jerked to the side, up and down, like all this kind of stuff.
Like manifest.
And I'm on the plane by myself again. And so, like,
what?
I'm still not liking the fly. I still don't like to fly. And so, like, I'm sitting back there, and I'm trying to stay patient and stuff. And, like, we're sitting there, and it feels like the plane's going to go down. And, like, I'm sitting there, I probably lost, like, 15 pounds through sweat through my palms because my palms were sitting there just soaked.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I was just nervous. And so the guys, so we finally landed and stuff like that. And he goes, and, like, the whole time is, like, the thing about those small flights is like, you can see what they're doing up there.
And like, they probably were just talking to you and, like, turned around and were like, hey, Rhett.
Well, they were like,
they're eating their ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're up there, like, they're up there, smacking each other, like playing grab ass with each other and stuff like that. And
I don't know what kind of plane airline this is, but
and so, like, they're up there just, like, kind of like goofing around and stuff, and I'm back there,
this
like,
is it.
I'm about to have a stroke.
Yeah, they probably have you on camera making fun of you, like, this poor kid.
Yep.
And so we land, and as soon as we landed and stopped, and the co-pilot, like, turned around and, like, he clapped his hands. He was like, "Well, we made it," like that, like in a joking matter. I was like, "I'm gonna kill this guy." And so they they get off the plane first, and they greet you when you get out and stuff like that. And they knew that I came out here for, like, baseball, and so they were asking me about it and stuff like that. And we conversated for about 5 minutes or so. And I was like, I said, "I tell you what," I said, "I think you two," I said, "y'all too," I said, "y'all are some, like, badasses for being able to fly these planes and stuff like that. I have a lot of respect for pilots and stuff." I said, "But y'all too," I said, "y'all are clowns." And, like, they just started laughing. They were like, "Man, we got to have a good time while we're out here," and stuff like that. And so I went back into the airport, and I think I had, like, my flight didn't leave until, like, 12:30 in the morning. So I think it was like a 5 or 6 hour layover or something. So I'm just sitting around, and I'm sitting around and finally get on the plane. And then I think I landed. It was one of those, what they call it a red eye flight. And so I landed back in Charlotte. I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Cause obviously there's a 2 hour difference from, Denver, and my dad was there to pick me up. And so I got in the car, and, like, I remember him asking me, like, how it went. And I was so exhausted because I don't think I slept on the plane and stuff.
Right.
I was so exhausted that I just went to sleep. Like I didn't even I heard him ask me, but I didn't respond because I was I was asleep. And so it was like an hour and a half back home, and then I think I had to work the next day at like 11, so I got like a few more hours of sleep. But
so when did you know that like I'm gonna come here?
I knew that I was going to come here. I mean, as soon as I checked everything out here, because that's what I told Coach. I was like, I said I got to at least come out there and see like what's going on and stuff like that before I make this commitment and stuff. Obviously, because I'm 24 hours away from home.
Yeah, and you drove out here, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I drove out here, and that was it was actually funny because I drive that Jeep, and like it's a straight drive, and like it doesn't. Like, it can probably go 90 if I, floored it. But I was just kind of going 70, 75 out here, the whole way. And then, I drove 22, 23 hours. And I get an hour from here. And I go through a speed trap. And I get a ticket for like $180.
Oh, my God.
Welcome.
It's probably in Culver City.
Slow down in the suburbs, all right?
That's like when we came from Texas and moved up here. And in Texas, like, it could be a dirt road and the speed limit is 75. Like every road is 75. It does not matter. And when we moved up here, I was like, I can't get anywhere in this state because it takes so long.
Yeah. Well, you drive out here and then like you drive through Kansas and it's kind of like there's nothing out here.
Yeah.
Like if I break down, like I'm gonna get eaten by something out here, and like
probably an old lady.
Merry Christmas to that animal because like
truth.
And so like I get out to Nebraska and like it's middle of the day because like I drove, like I said, it was like 24 hours. And so like I never got a hotel room because like I didn't know where I was going to stop, like when I was going to get tired and stuff like that. And I was just like, I'm just going to go until I start getting tired. And so I left South Carolina. It was like 11 in the morning. And I didn't stop. I mean, other than gas and like, some coffee and stuff like that, I didn't stop until I got to Columbia, Missouri, which was like probably like 12 to 13 hours. And so I was like, and I've done it before. I was like, kind of like, well, I'm not going to spend money on a hotel room. I was like, I'll just sleep in the Jeep. And so I pulled over at the University of Missouri and just, pulled into the parking spot. And slept for about 4 hours, then woke back up and got coffee and just drove the next like 9 hours.
One of our biggest things, Lena and I, we talk about this a lot. Like people grow the most when they put them like you. I think he said it earlier. Like when you put yourself in like a vulnerable situation, like where you like left your state, you're coming out somewhere else where you know absolutely nobody.
Right.
Like that's when people grow the most, and like that makes you such a better person because you have to go and like you have to meet people and you got to make other relationships with people because otherwise you'd just be out here all by yourself.
Well, the vulnerability alone. To even start. To even think about.
Yeah. And then doing it.
That's what I mean. I had a conversation with like some of the administration here. They were asking me. They were like, "What made you like want to come out here?" And it's just kind of like a lot of times when someone makes that move, like they have like a significant other or like they're moving out there because like with their family or something like that, and it was just kind of like.
But this is the best time, like when you don't have anybody. Like Lena and I, we both had situations like this, where like when you're young and you don't have anybody, and you go and you like do this. That's like the most. I would do it again.
Oh, right.
But like I have a husband and kids now.
Right.
Like this is the coolest part of your life.
Yeah.
And this probably isn't your last place, but you're going to grow so much just from like this one place.
Right.
And meet so many different people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like I felt like, I've been here for, 5 months and I've already felt like I've grown like a lot as an individual, just kind of like finding myself and, just kind of like being at peace, but at the same time, like being hungry.
Right.
And so.
So you work with Coach Olson, who is the head baseball coach and my boss and our athletic director. I've had a lot of people that when they've come to work here, because I've been here, I'm like the oldest coach here besides Olson.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. Anyways, the people that come here, they're like, he's just so hard to talk to. Like, does he like me? Does he not like me? Do you feel like that with Olson?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I like Olson has a lot going on. And like,
he
obviously,
is busy.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were obviously like it's funny because like we were talking about me and some of the players were talking about this morning at breakfast, and like he just has a lot going on. I mean, he's an athletic director. He's the head coach of a baseball team. Like
He teaches
classes. He has 3 kids under the age of 6 or 5 or however old Avery is. and like, you know, he's trying to keep up, you know, he's trying to, you know, keep his wife happy and stuff like that. And like, people don't understand, like, that's a lot to do. And like, the man's phone's just blowing up all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, for me, like, I knew that one of my responsibilities is like, I want to try to take as much pressure off of him as possible. And so like, anything that I can do to help and, you know, stuff like that, like, I'm willing to do. And so like, you know, if I can do that and help him out, then, you know, I'd be pretty, you know, happy with that.
That was one, I've had multiple assistants, and somebody finally was like, 'cause it's really hard for me, like, to give somebody else like a job, like, hey, Hannah, you're going to do weights all by yourself. So I would still do weights even though I had an assistant. And finally, it was like 2 years ago, somebody was like, you have got to give your assistant more duties. Like, they're not going to grow if you don't let them grow.
Exactly.
And so that's finally what I did. But then also with that, having Coach Olson, he has all these roles. And I try to help out Olson as much as I can. I'm like, if you're going to be gone, let me know what I can do. And people are like, that's not your job, though. And I'm like, no, but my job is to help out people. And that's the kind of person I am. So, like, if Olson's gone, like, he has a lot on his plate. Like, if it wasn't for Olson, we wouldn't be able to play. Like, I wouldn't be able to have these tournaments. So, like, I got to give back somehow.
Well, I think that's twofold, because if you're the head coach, you need to be willing to be somebody who's a good delegator. And if you're the assistant coach, you need to be somebody who is like exactly what Rhett said, is take things off the plate for them and help make their job just a little bit easier. And I think in the world, that's what we all need to do, whether it's with coaching or teaching or, you know, parenting. The more you help each other out and you're part of a team, the better usually things work.
So coaching here, you have all the pitchers. Who is the most difficult athlete that you have to work with? Like, who is one that's just like, he's hard, but he's going to make you better?
Ooh, that's good.
Like, make me better as a coach?
Yeah. Like, because those are the players that end up making
I
you
remember he
different.
only knew 10 names.
I know. He probably doesn't remember this kid. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, but he only deadlifts like 150.
It's like, I don't know him by name, but
I would definitely say Cade Weber.
Oh, Cade.
Yeah.
where's he from?
Cade's from Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like what I think a lot of it too was, so like these sophomores, you know, and
He is a sophomore. I forget that.
So especially I'd say like, especially the first like maybe 2.5, 3 months, something like that. Like, for these sophomores, it was a hard adjustment for them.
Yeah, new coach,
like new way things are going to be ran. Like, you know, there's not going to be like, we're not going to be late. Like, we're not going to be lazy. Like, you know, when we're in the weight room and like we're on the practice field and stuff like that, like, you only have so many times to lace those cleats up. And so like, that was something that I expressed like one of our first meetings. And so like, I told them, I said, I'm telling you this from experience. I was like, when you're in the weight room, when you're on the field, I was like, whatever you do, I was like, make sure you leave no doubt. I was like, because I can promise you right now that if you do, I said, once you hang these cleats up, I said, you're going to lay in your bed and you're going to look up at the ceiling and you're not going to be able to sleep. And I was like, you're going to regret that for a long time. I was like, so I'm trying to tell you now that give it everything you got. And if you do, if you prepare yourself the right way, then you left no doubt and you have no regrets at all.
I think at the first part, when you first were here, you guys ran like a lot of miles. And you ran with them. I just remember some of the baseball boys being like, dude, this guy means business. Like, he wants us to keep up with him.
I'm sure that's what our athletes would say about us.
For sure.
Yeah.
My girls see me working out, and I'm just like, back the off. Like,
Especially when it comes to running.
Yeah.
My athletes, oh yeah.
Oh, I think Rhett actually. Remember at Heritage Days when I was like,
up, you
yeah,
were there.
I want to run with
She got me a
Jake.
shirt.
Yeah,
Of course
I did.
she
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Probably one off her back.
And Rhett was like, you sure you can do this? And I was like, you can do anything you set your mind to, Rhett. And then I almost died.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, and then Jake came back to hold my hand. Thank the
course he
Lord
did.
for him.
Such
I
a
was like, thank you, Jake.
Her players came back to the stand.
And they're like,
I said, where's Coach at? They goes, I don't know. She was halfway back that way somewhere. And I was like, well.
I got cocky because I started that off really well. And I was like, y'all better hustle.
You're the whole reason I didn't want to do it, because I was like, this girl's been training. Because just your talk and your
No
attitude
way.
was like, I was like, I'm good. I'll watch your kids in the park. Mama ain't doing this.
No way. Even even my kids felt bad for me. They're like, "You can do it, Mom." I was like, "That was the stupidest thing I have done."
No,
Like,
it was
so
not. It was great. It was great.
It was uphill like 2 miles.
Okay. Did you? Okay.
Well, college football was also on too. That's the reason I probably can't run either.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah,
Give
that
me a
was
break.
right, yeah.
You couldn't listen to that. You're-
Okay,
AirPods.
what player that you have worked with here that's like, this kid's good? You see more out of him than what he's given.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that like work really, really hard. But I'd say Miles Chaubby works really, really hard. But like, I'd say Yellow works really hard. I mean, Owen works really hard. I mean, it's really hard to just like single a guy out just because like there's a lot of guys in there
Right.
that like really, really work hard and like, you know, you can tell that like they're giving it everything they got. And like going back to talking about like me doing like, you know, the running and stuff like that with the team, I just feel like I've always been a big believer in like leading by example, right? And what I mean by that is like it's easy. I feel like it's easy as a coach to sit here and tell the guys, "Hey, go do this, go do that, go do this." But like when you do it with them, right? I would never ask these guys to do something that I wouldn't put myself
Oh,
through.
same. Yeah. I'll try never to get to the point. Like if I tell the girls to do something, they're like, I was like, if I can, like, I'm not going to make you do anything that I can't do. It doesn't look like that, but
Don't
I can
worry
still
about
do
it.
some stuff.
Yeah.
They haven't
And
had kids yet. Just
That's
it's fine.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
And so like you know, I'd run with them and stuff, and then but a lot of that too is like obviously like, you know, when it snows outside it's hard to go do stuff and stuff like that. But like, you know, when you do stuff like that, especially the first like couple months, like it tests your mental toughness. Like we had a lot of guys leave, right?
Okay,
So,
because they
like,
were like,
Oh, what? Really?
not for me. Rhett Miller is.
You had guys leave college. Like they
Yeah.
just, how many?
it's like 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay.
I was gonna say 5, but
Might be 3, 4, 5,
yeah.
something like that.
I don't know. One thing with my new job here at the college, I get to work with all the baseball players, which is way different than what I used to do. Because like they'd only come talk to me if they were in trouble
Oh,
with academics, and now it's the other way around. But so I get to meet them all individually.
Yeah, and like the, you know, that test out mental toughness, and it's kind of like this is the way that we're going to do things. Like if you can get through this, like let's ride.
Right.
Because like if like, you know, if I can't trust you, you know, or your teammates can't trust you to finish, you know, a mile jog.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Or
This
a
is.
workout, then how
I feel
are
like
they?
we
How
could
are
be
they?
best friends.
How are they supposed to trust you? In you know,
Yeah.
in between the lines.
That's like we run the mile every single year, and some people are like, "What does this do?" I'm like, a mile run is the biggest mental toughness that you could ever have. Like, it is. You can put a time on it. It's like 7 minutes of just like pure grit and heart.
Right.
Like if you can't give 7 freaking minutes of like all you have, like how can I expect you to play in a 2.5 hour match?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or throw the, you know, whatever.
I was waiting for some really great baseball lingo there for a
Yeah,
second.
I don't
was
want
like, Where are we going?
to sound like
Where
an
are we going?
idiot.
Yeah. So you
Don't
stop.
sound like an idiot.
It's fine.
But that's the reason, like, I told them after we'd run, like, you know, long distance a couple of times. And it's the same thing with our workouts. Like, our workouts are really, really intense. And, like, I believe, like, what you do off the field, like, when it's like, hardcore stuff, then, like, it makes the game easier. And, like, my biggest thing since day one is like, we have to find a way to be able to mentally slow the game down. And that's what's going to make the difference. And, like, you becoming, like, you staying at the level you're at now, and then you being able to get to where you need to be able to get. And so, like, I told them after the mile, and like our workouts, like, you know, our workouts normally don't last more than like, you know, 50 minutes to an hour or something like that. And like we do a lot of stuff in there. Like we'll go 3 sets of like 12, and like, you know, you got 3 guys in a group, and like you got 7 minutes at each station. And so, like, you know, I tell them, I'm like, when y'all run that mile, when you work out, like, you have to be able to mentally, like, slow yourself down and, like, kind of focus on what you're doing. And it's the same thing as when you get in a game. Like, when you get in a game, especially coming out of high school, like, this game's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And so, like, someone gets on, and all of a sudden those wheels and their brain starts going like this.
See, this is my biggest thing with baseball, and this is like this was BL before Lena. but when I had the two pitchers on,
No such thing.
and like my biggest thing with baseball and pitchers is like, what is the mental game for like each individual? Like each person's different. You each have to like be telling yourself something. And when I asked these two pitchers that, they're like, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm like, how do you not know what you're thinking if you're a pitcher? Like what is going through your brain? Like it's just like so like I want to ask. Oh, is that Olsen? I like
keep it down,
yeah,
J.O.
man. I just like, what is everybody thinking? And I figure like just by listening to you talk, you probably work with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like we go over like, obviously being inside, like we don't go over like PFPs and stuff and Team D and stuff like that, like as normal as we probably should.
Whoa. Okay. You don't just throw out acronyms to the lay peeps. Okay. You got to, what's a PFP?
PFP, pitchers fielding practice.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
you threw out another one.
Team D, like team defense.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, like I only know a few lingoes, and I don't.
Did you know either of those?
Yeah.
You did not. That's
She-
why
she
I
didn't-
asked.
she didn't
I
know.
know. I
She
saw the
didn't
look
know.
on her face, and I was
Yeah.
like, I better
I'm
ask.
just going.
She kind of
like
gave
a-
that look towards the
Yes.
ceiling, like she had no
I
idea.
know,
I
what
was just
was
like, is
going
this
on.
another steroid that we're talking about? Is this what the baseball players are taking? Like, I don't know.
Okay, I have to ask, how many guys do you think you have now that are going to go on? And I
Like
don't
to a
know.
4-year?
Yes,
or
to
like
a
big time?
4-year. And then when, in baseball, because it's a little bit different, maybe you probably don't know off the cuff, like what percentage of guys leave early to go on to play. But how many guys do you have that will go on to a 4-year right now? Or do you know yet? When do they?
I'd say there will be 90% of the staff right now that moves on to a 4-year.
Oh, jeez. Good.
Yeah, that's good.
so
That's
nice.
what it's
super
about.
impressive.
That's what JUCO's about.
That's what I love about McCook. That's a good thing.
But they're like, you know, what's crazy about baseball is like you'll have some guys that, you know, that might unfortunately get hurt. There'll be some guys that play ball for 2 years and they're kind of like, you know, they want to go off and be a doctor, right? And they just won't have time to play. And
Right.
so like, you know, they'll go off and they'll go to school, they just won't play ball. Right. And so like, I think that, you know, I'd say 85 to 90% of the guys will move on to the next level and play.
What is your end game? Like, where do you see yourself?
And
Let's say 5 years.
I mean, my dream's always to become like a Power 5 head coach.
Okay.
Like I'll probably never coach at the high school level. It's
Down
just
to it.
it's just something that you get trapped in. And it's hard to get out. And then obviously college athletes are a lot, you know, better to work with because they have a little bit better of a understanding of kind of like how things work and everything.
Probably a lot less parents, too.
Exactly. My God.
Oh.
And that's something I've like people don't understand is you're here for a reason. Like obviously you're talented and stuff, but like the reason you're here is because your IQ is not that great for the game. And like I didn't understand that until I got done playing. Like I feel like now at 29, I'm a better athlete than I was at 25.
I was a better athlete at 29 as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's so huge
Not
to
at
say.
35.
That's really huge to say.
Yeah. Do you think you'll come back next year?
As of right now, yes.
Oh, good. Good. We'll have you for another year.
I have like a lot of my guys ask me that. They're like, "Are you going to come back next year?" And I say, as of right now, yes. I mean, obviously, if another job opportunity comes about or something like that, I'll like weigh my options. But as of this moment, yes, I will be back.
Baseball, it's just like
Quick,
moving. Yeah. And like, I mean, he can just throw something on Twitter and find an assistant tomorrow. It's crazy.
We can throw out some hate.
That's what's crazy just about like coaching in general though.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's hard. That's the reason I feel like, you know, a lot of like, especially like, you know, me being a coach and like, you know, having like a significant other or a wife or something like that, then like, you know, it's hard for that, you know,
Right.
because coaches move around so much. And like, you know,
Exactly.
especially like if you have kids and stuff, like you got to take them out of the school where they know everybody. And like, there's a lot that gets thrown into it.
Clay and I have lived in 4 different houses. And he was like, which I'm like, oh, I'm overhearing about this. He's like, we have literally moved every single time for you.
Well, I mean, some
Hi.
things just need to be said.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. And I had a few other opportunities and Clay finally was like, I'm not moving. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, which is fine. You got to look at the best of every situation. So I'll be here with J.O. forever.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'm gonna set it
As
to
long as
J.O.
both of you are, you know, happy and all that kind of stuff.
That's
where you're at.
exactly
Exactly
right.
right.
Yeah. And I love McCook.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've like gotten that like, oh, do you go to church?
I haven't been able to go out here, but I like back at home.
Oh,
I
you know,
do.
if
Get
you,
you know what? We'll get you
we'll
under
take
our
you.
wing.
We'll take you on a Sunday that you're here.
Just us. Because we're already weird that way
Yeah.
sometimes. It's fine. It's fine. And if you want to sing in the choir with us, you can too.
Oh God,
They haven't asked us yet, but it's going to happen.
Well, we're getting rid of the choir at our church.
Do you play
Do you play an instrument? Guitar?
Can you
I do
tap
not.
a
I
bell?
do not.
Tambourine?
I don't really have a lot of rhythm.
No?
Okay.
No. I mean, I sing I can sing I sing in the shower in the car good, but
Just out of curiosity, like, what's your music like mantra or genre?
it's funny. Like it comes in waves.
Like I can picture what I feel like you'd listen to, but
Like there's been times in the past where like for 2 or 3 months, like I get very, very religious and I'll listen to Christian music. Like I'll listen to like,
that was not the genre I was going with. But
well, like I said, it comes in waves. So I have that. And then all of a sudden, for another 2 or 3 months, like I'll get kind of like a Bahamas kind of like beach, like
this is not anything anyway.
Like
I was
vibe.
with two.
And
Yeah.
then-
I was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were there? I was not. Okay, continue.
and then and then I'll get on my country kick.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen's new songs.
I
are really
literally
good.
was like, I can just see you just listening to that, like his whole playlist.
Oh
but-
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when I fly home, I listen to Morgan Wallen's whole playlist probably 4 times.
What are you looking at,
Do you
Lena?
not wear socks?
What?
Do you not wear socks?
I got socks on.
Are they like the
Why are
tiniest
you looking
sock?
at his ankles?
Because I don't see a sock, and that's kind of like I don't.
Is that a
that's
red flag for you?
That's a huge red flag because you got something growing if you don't have socks on.
Got something growing. Is there socks there?
The tiniest little no-shows I've ever seen. Okay,
Those-
good. That's safe. That's all right. Just saying. Okay, I have a question because you said you're left-handed.
Say show off the calves.
Oh,
my God.
probably why I wear socks. Got it. Jake's left-handed too. I just want to throw that out there. But,
Jake.
what other sports did you play besides baseball? Or did you have to pick early on where you're from?
No, so like growing up, I played all sports. I mean, I
Okay.
played soccer. I played obviously baseball, basketball, football.
Did you shoot left-handed?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
See, that's because I have a
Yeah,
left-handed
yeah.
daughter, and she does everything naturally right-handed. And I was like, I don't understand how that happens. Like how you're just, but Jake does everything left-handed, and she just chooses to do everything right-handed. I don't understand. Did you just naturally? Is your dad left-handed?
I'm the only lefty in the family.
I have two. And Letty's trying to be a lefty.
Is she?
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
get scholarship for being a lefty.
I know, literally.
I tried to tell Celia, like, stick with the lefts.
Yeah.
You must be close with your dad. You mentioned him a lot. You and your dad really close?
Yeah, me and my dad are pretty close.
Yeah.
Does your dad look like Jake?
Whoa.
A lot older, but yeah. He looks like me, or I guess I look like him.
Let's see a picture at some point. Anyways.
Yeah, at some point.
And then what? Do you have other siblings?
I have an older brother.
Okay.
He's an artist.
Yeah, I'll
Shout
tell
out.
her that.
I'm going to send you his Instagram. He's really talented.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a few other outsider questions. I've been receiving some text messages here, Rhett.
If people are listening live,
Yeah,
How-
right.
how y'all doing?
They all they all knew that we were talking to you. One, how do you get your hair with so much volume?
Oh, sweet Lord.
a lot of 2-in-1.
Yes, that's what Jake does.
Ew.
Yep.
Gross.
I think
Probably
that's just
Pantene.
that's just what
Probably-
guys do because we're
Yes.
just lazy when it comes to that stuff.
Yep.
But,
Are you a bar of soap kind of guy or shower gel kind of guy?
I use bar and soap. I also have a what's the like little squeegee things.
I'm starting to
A
sweat.
loofah?
Stop. I'm starting to sweat. Let's just stop.
These are questions people want to know.
No one needs to know
They
this.
want to-
We need
We're
a,
not
we need
done
a heat,
yet.
We need a heat check over here.
Jeez, okay. I won't ask this one question.
Don't skip.
Hold on. I have another one.
Oh.
Are you into beautiful, thick women that are smart and funny? Might be a little bit older than 29.
Obviously, I'm sitting right here. Jeez, so awkward. The answer
Okay,
is yes.
no comment.
I look at the inside.
God, look at you. That's beautiful. What other questions? Ooh, did you pull it together?
Just go. Ask
pull it
something.
together. Okay, so you don't know Lena, Rhett, but Lena,
Nobody does.
Lena is the same age as my older sister, and like my older sister, that's like
Wait,
my person,
okay.
and Lena's like my person.
How old is your mom? Just checking.
She just turned 60.
Oh, okay. Woo. All right. Yep, I'm fine.
Yeah, I
You're
think
fine.
she's 60, and I think my dad just turned 62 on Christmas Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday. birthday, Dad. Christmas Day.
Wait, when was your dad's birthday?
So it's actually funny. Our family's all together. My mom's is on the 16th of December. My dad's is on Christmas Day. Mine's on the 7th of January. And then my brother's on the 26th of January.
Nice. Good Capricorn babies.
Yeah, kind of get it all over with and then
Yeah.
kind of move on from it. So,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Do you drink caffeine?
I do.
What's your caffeine of choice? We're
I
getting to the end, so now
Yeah.
we're asking all the fun questions.
just pour a cup of coffee and put a little bit of milk in it. It's good to go.
Like
Very
vitamin
nice.
D milk.
Almond milk.
Oh,
Attaboy.
why did you
That
have to go
boy.
there? Oh,
Yeah.
Do you ever go to Jolt and Joe's?
What is that?
Oh,
So no.
here's the deal. Well, we can't go to Jolt and Joe's before church because it's not open. But
Nope.
one day we'll take you to Jolt and Joe's.
What kind of church? Y'all go to Baptist church or what do you go to?
I mean,
we
it's
do a
kind
lot
of
of
like
singing,
that.
dancing
We
in
do
the
a
aisles
lot
of
of singing.
Oh, it's the one with the instruments where they get after it.
They get
Yeah.
after.
I
Well,
love
yeah,
those.
and they
I
even
bet you do.
They even broke out a harmonica.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
After
no, they
everybody had
didn't.
left, I was like, "Is that a harmonica
That's
in the
terrible.
background?"
I've always I actually started getting into playing guitar and stuff.
Well, we know somebody that you can meet.
No, we don't. But anyways.
He's okay.
Yep.
Gosh, somebody posted a video of him the other day
I
on Facebook that was
know.
like, "This young man helped start 2 old ladies' cars,"
Oh, Lord.
and it was McCarty.
When you have some people, you do bad deeds, you got to do good
Yeah, you
deeds
got to
to make that.
get back into heaven.
Yep, exactly.
That's something I wanted to do. Talking about the hair and stuff because like when I was in JUCO, I actually had hair down between my shoulder blades.
Oh,
Yeah, but I've grown my hair out twice for lots of love, like cancer patients.
who is this guy? Like,
Well, if anything happens to Jake, I know who he's. Anyways.
my little nephew, he did that too. He donated his hair.
I think
That's
my brother's done it twice too. I did.
Can we?
What?
How long is it right? Oh, don't take it off because you got.
Yeah,
oh,
don't mess with your headphones. You can see a little bit out the back. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think I did it when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it was actually funny because when I was playing, I was obviously playing baseball at the time, and we went to the Little League World Series, and I'd be up there pitching, and then the other coach, after the game, would ask my coach, he'd be like, "Did we just get beat by a girl?" And he was like, "No, it's a guy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my biggest when I donated my hair twice, I think one of my biggest I guess you would call it. Oh, it's not really. I guess it's a goal. I guess or I'd love to see it is the kid that I helped out. I'd love to be able to see that kid with be able to meet that kid with the wig or
Right.
Whatever the case. So
I wonder if they do track that. I guess they're putting hair together because I'm sure they use multiples sometimes.
One thing
That would
with
be sweet.
boys that do that though, and people call them a girl or whatever, and a kid doesn't give to
Right, the
when they don't
confidence is
care.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, because my nephew, they would always call him Tilda instead of Tilden, and he was just get
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What other questions are you watching or reading anything?
So I like to.
He's probably reading
besides
Colleen
what-
Hoover or
Besides
something.
what we watch together,
So I'm not-
share the rest of it.
I apologize. He's
Do
like,
So I'm not much I like reading, but I really have to really be invested in the book. And so the last book that I read was actually right before I came out here, but it was called Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
yes. Lena, have you not read that?
No.
I have 3 copies in my office.
It's really
the
good.
problem is if I
He
read
is
it
so
now, it's going to be
beautiful.
like he's reading it to me. Rhett's the voice thing. That's what's going to be happening, which is fine. But I mean, does anyone have the?
You'd get through the book in one night.
So many things I want to say right now, but kids could be
That is a
listening.
good book. That's a good book.
And I'll
It's so
I'll be
good.
honest, I think that's the first book I've probably ever finished.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. There's a lot of things in there that you would not expect that would have been in that book, and then it's like, what?
That's
Yeah.
Are y'all
It's a good book.
are y'all big in the Netflix
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
show? Go. Favorite show on Netflix? Go.
Manifest.
Well, it was Outlander, but it's now.
Oh, I do like
Manifest.
Outlander too.
Y'all like Manifest?
Love is Blind.
What? Oh, garbage.
Stop that. What's your favorite show?
Oh wait, it's great.
Well, I don't have one currently. I've been searching because if I get bored every now and then, I
Right.
kind of like to watch a few.
You don't like
episodes.
Manifest?
I tried Manifest. Listen, I tried Manifest, and I watched the first. I either watched the first episode or I watched the first 30 to 40 minutes of it.
No.
And then once they started
have to
once
go.
they started going back and forth, I got lost, and so I just exited out of it.
J.R. Ramirez.
He's not that good looking.
He is fine.
Oh, okay.
I have him on Instagram. He's going to come on here one day.
Well, then maybe I should say it's
Yeah,
fine, if
he's
that
good
helps it.
looking. What else? I'm trying to think.
Shows that I finished that I really enjoyed was like Breaking Bad's good.
So sad. That was such. How?
What about Sweet Home Alabama?
So sad.
The movie?
Yeah.
I love Sweet Home Alabama.
What was the one with Virgin River? Did you watch Virgin River? That one's good.
I liked Ozark was good.
Ozark's.
Also sad and dark.
What about Walking Dead?
I've never watched that either.
What about Bloodline?
Yes.
Love Bloodline.
That was good.
Yes.
Coach Taylor
Never.
from Friday Night Lights.
Night Lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vikings.
I'm looking right now.
Oh,
Ginny
so
and Georgia.
No.
The one with Murphy
No.
with the dog
No.
and she's blind.
No. I'm saying.
That one's
that
really
one.
good. That
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
good.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I
Yeah,
forget what it's called though.
It might be the worst thing ever that they took The Office off of Netflix.
Okay. I'm going to have a moment with him right now, other than the ones previously.
I already can tell
She does
later.
not watch and has not watched The Office.
My parents said the same thing, and they started watching it, and they were like, "I understand why Rhett loves this show."
Yes.
But it's only
the
but
best comedy ever.
it's only good with Michael Scott in it. Though once he leaves, I stop watching it.
Well, it's still good, but not as good.
Right.
And that's why even watching Jack Ryan, I was so glad to see him in a serious role, because after Office, I was like, is he going to be able to do anything else? And he can.
What other questions do we have for Rhett?
Favorite TV show? Go.
Oh, God. I don't know.
TV show. Andy Griffin.
Oh, no. I like.
There's no strong female roles in Andy Griffin, so I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
Blackish.
Gosh,
Blackish
I
is a
don't
great.
know.
Blackish.
I don't know. I don't.
Blackish.
Never seen it.
What's yours?
Well, me and my dad kind of have like so when me and my dad are like when I'm back at home, like we always have like a tradition thing that we do, and like we'll go to Waffle House. Y'all don't have a Waffle House around here, but
No.
we'll go to you've heard of Waffle House
Yes.
before, right?
Been to one.
Yeah, and so we'll go to Waffle House at like 12:30 in the morning and just have like a cup of coffee and stuff like that, and just hang out and talk. And then after that, when we go home and like get back to the house in the living room and stuff, like we'll sit there and watch like 2.5 Men with like Charlie Sheen in it, or watch not Mike and Molly, but King of Queens with Kevin James.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Modern Family. That used to be my favorite TV show.
So good.
I loved Modern
Modern
Family.
Family's
That's
really
like my
good.
family, literally.
Not mine, but it's still super good.
It's good. What other questions?
I don't know if we have any.
Do you have any questions for us, Rhett?
Do you want us to save you like a special spot at our Valentine's Day show, or are you just going to show up when you show up?
Valentine's? You want me here for Valentine's?
Okay.
Did you not listen to any of the first part of
Sweet
this?
Mother of Pearl, Rhett. Okay.
Valentine's Day.
We're slowing this down.
Lena and I, we are a hot commodity.
Yes.
How many current listeners you got right now?
We have over like
I
5,000
don't know why numbers
downloads.
matter. Why is it all about the numbers? Why is it
Anyways.
about
I'm just
the joy?
I'm giving y'all kudos.
Okay.
Back to numbers. So
Yeah.
people hire us for the
Yes,
evening.
they-
Not like that.
Well, that too. But anyways.
Besides the point.
Besides the point. Because we're funny and
Yep.
we do a stand-up show
Yep.
and we don't rehearse or anything. We're just completely off the top.
We're off the cuff.
Off the cuff. And so Valentine's Day we have a show.
Yeah. And there's 13 tickets left
Out of 70.
out of 70.
How much you got to pay for 'em?
$45 hairs. And that comes with your drink, your dessert, and your meal, and us.
You make that in a week working for the college, you'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like a month.
That's me. The
Coaching is nothing. Yeah. So that's a ticket.
Where's it at?
It's here. It's
Sanerts.
Sanerts.
Downtown. Okay. Do you guys ever take this guy off
I know.
campus?
Like, have you ever?
Have you been to Sanerts?
Have you drove your vehicle since you got
the
here?
third generation donut place in town.
I think I take some recruits there sometimes.
Okay. Well,
Dang.
when you're there next time,
I don't really go out much.
Clearly.
obviously.
I got too much going on.
Oh,
gosh.
don't we
He woke
all?
up at like 8 today,
Yeah.
he said.
I'm used to waking up at like 5, but
Whatever.
Don't I
Anyways,
know?
so yeah. That's on Valentine's Day. I don't think you guys have a game. So
Yep.
See you
now
there.
you got something to do.
what day is Valentine's Day? Thursday?
that's a Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Take Jo. He did not go to our last one.
Shut the front door. Please take
yes,
Jo.
take Jo
Take
and somebody
J.O.
else.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even need somebody else.
No,
but it
just
might
you
be
and
weird if
J.O.
it's just
go.
you. Yes. God,
That would be
J.O.
hilarious.
Yes.
So Tuesday night,
Tuesday night.
7:00.
Yeah.
No, the doors open at 5:30. Our show starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
What kind of drinks?
What do you
They have
want?
everything.
Yeah.
We have our own special signature drink. You can have one of those.
K2 Breeze.
Yep.
I would like to wake up tomorrow morning, but yes.
Well,
I won't talk about the last baseball assistant coach that we took out. I think somebody had to carry him home.
I was not there, so I'm glad I wasn't.
I got to hear the aftermath of it. I was like, did he make it? That was like my biggest question.
Girl.
Yeah. Don't be that person.
Nope.
No, I know. I've had my days.
That's good.
I know how to handle
same.
myself.
Same.
All right.
I feel like we have any other questions for Rhett? Rhett, do you have any other questions for us? You don't have any questions for us?
Maybe go back and listen to a few. That'd be nice.
That'd be good.
I will. I'll follow the podcast.
That'd
Thank
be nice.
you.
I'll subscribe.
Share it.
I'll
Share it with
subscribe.
your friends.
We're on every freaking podcast platform
Nebraska's
there is.
#1 podcast.
Boom.
Preach. Take it back. We are number 8 for volleyball podcast in America, and we are number 9 in Australia. We have an Australia listener.
Wow.
That's because of my Australian baseball players.
You know
I
what?
like
Life
mine,
is
but-
good.
So number one west of the Mississippi, huh?
Pretty much on this side of the Mississippi.
You know what's interesting? You say that. Remember, somebody said I was the best coach west of the Mississippi. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. They did say that.
That's
So
probably,
let's
that's probably
just
what I said about her.
That's probably exactly right.
You know what? That's just
She
going
was
to be our
carrying,
theme.
every time she carried a recruit around, I'd be like, just know who you're in the presence of.
See, he's good. He
Yes.
can stay around for another year or two.
Or some sort of stuff.
Oh gosh.
She's just competition. She has banners up there. We don't have one up there, so that's what
Get your life together.
I got to drive to get one of those this year.
Yeah.
Oh my
gotta
gosh, let's go.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Championship mindset. That's what it's all
That's
about.
right. Exactly right. Well, okay. Well, thanks, Rhett, for coming on here.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank
This
you
was
for
nice.
having me.
So fun.
You're welcome. Can't wait to read the book. I can hear you whispering in my ear.
Lena.
What? I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Well, that was another episode of Coaching Caffeine and Comedy, and I'm your host, Haley Kobza.
And I'm Lena.
I like how well.